And finally, we're joined head coach Seb Hines. Seb had a week off, international break now, entering final regular season game of the year against Seattle at home. Just give us your thoughts and what kind of matchup you expected in Ernco.
Yeah, I would go back and say it's probably come at a good time. The international break. Obviously, we've got players representing their countries, which is amazing. But for the players who stayed here, giving them that time to reset, take in what they've achieved so far this year, and go after the game on Saturday against Seattle. Hopefully, we'll get a good turnout. A lot of fans out there to go out and support this team who've achieved so much this year.
Well, kind of in preparation for this last game of the season, how have you kind of found just the build up to this game? Obviously, playoffs are kind of already looking ahead, but with this game, against Seattle, how do you kind of feel like the team has been approaching it?
Yeah, I think we've had time to reflect and review what's been lacking probably in the last two games. I think we've played some really good football between the two 18s, and I think there's been moments where we haven't rewarded ourselves with that final product, the final delivery or the final finish, what we showed in that first half of the season or throughout the season. So just getting back to basics, been hard to play against. We've conceded 5 goals in the last 2 games, and we take a lot of pride in our defending. So just refining, back to the basics and knowing what type of team we want to be leading up into this postseason.
For you personally, as a coach, this is kind of the first time this season that this team has faced the kind of adversity that has resulted in losses. From your perspective, how do you kind of approach it, just from a coaching standpoint of going back to the drawing board, trying to fix things, considering that throughout the course of this season, even when the team has faced adversity, they've been able to come out on top and get results?
Yeah, it's just finding that balance, right? Because no one can take away that we're the number 1 team in the league and we've won the Shield. We've set countless amount of records, and deservedly so. Like they've earned that. So you can never take that away of what they've done. But again, you have to look back in the last 2 performances and say, like, we need to improve on this because, your playoff run could be over within minutes. So the players are very much focused of what their task is and, getting back together and going through those moments to make sure that we're in a really good position going into this Saturday's game, because this is almost a rehearsal of what the fans and people from outside should expect. And then you build that momentum from that game leading into the postseason. But yeah, it's finding a balance. Again, like when you've worked so hard to get, what you've set out to achieve, and then that moment comes, it's very difficult to go again. And so I think this week has been important that the players had the availability to just reset and really focus on, the next couple of games.
You kind of mentioned it already, but do you feel like this is kind of a precursor to the playoffs, as in, like, start your playoff mentality now? This is the first game, because after this point, if you lose, the season's over.
Yeah, but also, we've had some challenges with it being an international break and having so many internationals away, traveling a lot, long distances as well. So that turnaround is very quick. But the principles, the culture, the identity always has to be there, regardless who's on the field. And that's really important to us. We may not have a better opportunity to go all the way to a final with, having home games and teams coming here and making it challenging like we've shown all season long, and the backing of the fans and the fans getting behind us. So we've installed that sort of mentality going into, obviously, this game against Seattle, but we want to carry that on into the first postseason game against who we don't quite know who it's going to be yet as well. So it's just an exciting time for everyone, and yeah, the preparation is key to our success.
I'm talking about that, the international players, Ange captaining Brazil, Audrey scoring, Emily getting her first
captain.
Yeah. And Emily getting her first win with the U.S. I mean, just how proud are you of these players that have been able to go at the biggest stage and be able to perform for them?
No, it's massive. I think it just shows the growth of this club and the team and the players. Also, Anna getting the opportunity to sit on the bench at Wembley as well. So, being English, having that opportunity to be at Wembley and see a game. It's unfortunate you couldn't get on the field, but like the growth that she's shown as well. Getting her first cap, like you said, amazing achievement and fully deserved. And both are Brazilians getting to lead out their countries. It's massive for the club, it's massive for the players, it's massive for us as well as coaches, because you can see the work and effort that we've put into these players to get to where they're at and the growth that they've shown. And yeah, we want more players to go out there and represent their countries, because it's important to all of us.
With those players specifically, you kind of mentioned how much they've already played and the travel that they've had. How do you kind of approach making sure that they're reintegrated back within the squad and you're getting that momentum heading into playoffs, but also getting that kind of rest they need after all that travel and playing time heading into playoffs?
Yeah, it's communication. It's communication with the coaching staff, myself, and the player. The medical staff also. You have to have a look at how much travel they've had, how many minutes they've played, how they're feeling. It's just communication. But again, regardless of who's on the field, we have to represent this club and we have to represent ourselves as best we can. So whoever's on the field at any point, like, they have to go out there and give it their all. And yeah, we'll just be in communication with those international players after they've been away on duty.
You kind of mentioned at the beginning of this with the fans, this being Fan Appreciation Night on Saturday. How important is it just having the fans and being able to appreciate them in that moment as you head into playoffs?
It's massive. I've said, when I first took this job on, we have to give back to the fans, the ones who've stuck by us through all these hard times. You can see that the players have put their performances together on the field. Even for Orlando City history, Orlando Pride history, also to be able to lift a trophy in our stadium is a massive achievement for the organisation. And yeah, we just want to give back to the fans because the players have given absolutely everything to achieve these goals. And yeah, they are our 12th player. They get behind you. You can hear them. You can, they spur on the players to work that little bit harder as well. And yeah, like I said, we probably won't have a better opportunity to make a championship final with having both legs at home.